My name is Jason Chatfield, and I'm a cartoonist and a comedian working in New York City. I'm originally from Perth in Western Australia, which is the most isolated capital city on the planet. I first got into stand-up comedy 10 years ago. I did my first gig in 2007, and I gravitated towards comedians. Cartoonists and comedians aren't that different, really. The only difference is the medium they use to tell their jokes and stories. I like the immediacy of comedy, and I like that it's a way to express myself and tell stories and make people laugh. I pursued it before I took over Ginger Meg's. I was doing stand-up almost every night in Perth because I could. I would do open mics or I would do shows, spots at the end of a show. And I found it incredibly rewarding to get feedback on a joke immediately. Because if you make a joke in a comic strip or a cartoon, you don't hear the laugh because it goes to print and then it goes into the universe and you just don't hear anything back. You hope that it's funny. Whereas with comedy, you get a response immediately. If that's not funny, you find out pretty quick. The comedians that I admire the most are the ones who have a very strong voice and are able to educate people on topics in a really unique way, or look at something very laterally, like George Carlin or Patrice O'Neill or Dave Attell. Those are some of my favorite comedians of all time. I write jokes and I put them in cartoons and I tell them on stage, and yeah, there's various mediums that I can use jokes to communicate with people. So stand-up is very much one of those things that I consider not just a skill that I'm working on, but an actual passion that I have. And in the same way as cartooning, it's just another conduit for telling a story or making people laugh. The most daring creative thing I think I've done is in 2013 I decided to combine my stand-up comedy and my cartooning. And I'd always kept church and state separate until then. But after about 7 years of doing comedy, at that stage I decided I'm gonna mush them together and I'm gonna get on stage and do stand-up and draw live and then have the live drawings come to life and be animated on the page. So I'd have a projector at the back of the room and it would project onto the easel, and I would pre-animate the eyes and the mouth, but I'd draw the face and the body and the characters, and then I would have them come to life and speak to me and then sort of make fun of me and interact with me. And it was an hour-long comedy show. And I had all these different characters in it from my life that I brought to the show and to the story. And people seemed to like it. I sold out after, I got some good reviews and I sold it out in the Melbourne International Comedy Festival. And it felt good to finally combine those two disciplines that I'd been sort of honing separately for so many years and just combining them. I'm proud of that. I'm proud that I managed to finally find a way to put them together somehow.